Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am fully capitalizing on this makeup look. This is the third video that I have filmed with this eye look. All I've done is change out the lipstick. So I do apologize for that, but it is New Year's Eve while I'm filming this. I didn't intend to film this, well, okay, so back it up. I did intend to film this video, then completely forgot about it. And after I had filmed the other two, I was looking through my little notebook in which I keep video ideas and came across the notes for this and thought, well, it's now or never. Because really what the subject of this is, as you see by the title, is my 2018 recap. So I think this is probably a little bit more self-serving than anything else, but I just wanted to put it out there for posterity's sake. Just sort of what the accomplishments and what the challenges are that I faced in 2018. They do start off a little bit chronologically, but it is going to jump around a bit just in case that matters to you. So without further ado, let's do this. Every year, January is a challenge for me, and January 2018 was no different. I've never formally been diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder, although I do believe that that is what I experience. In my normal day-to-day life, I do take daily medication for anxiety. Sometimes I do still have breakthroughs with that, and when the anxiety is not completely controlled, it does morph into depression. January, every year for as far back as I can remember now, has just been a very dark and bleak month for me. I have no desire to do anything. I get overwhelmed deciding what to eat for dinner. I just want to nest and hibernate, and it's all that I have within me to kick myself out of that and move forward with daily life. January 2018, it was that compounded because I was in the midst of a very difficult court matter, made even more difficult because of the other lawyer. And I will not name names, I'm not doing that. But that lawyer and myself, our personalities do not mesh, and it was just exhausting. It was very, very stressful. I lost a lot of sleep over it, and it just made that month that much more difficult for me. And that strife with this person did carry through until everything sort of came to a head in March, and ultimately we each made complaints about the other to our governing body, which is something in 10 years of practice I have never complained about another lawyer, but I felt that I had to, given the particulars of that situation. Now, having said that, more than 7 months has passed and I still haven't received a resolution from the Law Society, so I have no idea where anything is standing with that. But at this point, because that lawyer and I have both publicly stated to the Law Society itself that we never intend to have matters with each other, like I would refer a client to another lawyer if this particular person became involved. And I believe that that person would do that if I became involved as well. We're oil and water, and it's not fair to our clients, and it is extremely rare for me to have that kind of reaction with somebody or to have that kind of dynamic with somebody, but that is what it was. So that chewed up the first quarter of my year, and I spent a lot of emotional energy on that. But now that we have sort of established that we never want to work with each other again, yes, we see each other because we work in the same city and we're at the same courthouse and all that kind of thing, but I'm just completely apathetic at this point. I don't wish that person any harm. I don't really care what the outcome of the complaints are. It is ancient history at this point. I just want to move forward and put that firmly in the past, view it as a lesson learned. There were things about my own behavior that I could have improved, and those are things that I've worked on. The bonus that came out of that, the amazing blessing that came out of that was after that person made what I consider to be a retaliatory complaint about me, because I did mine first, but whatever. After that person lodged their complaint about me, I had an opportunity to respond to the Law Society. part and parcel to my response, which was thorough in and of itself, but in addition to what I had to say, I reached out to a number of lawyers in our community who I have a lot of respect for and asked if they would write letters of support for me. And everybody that I asked responded, and everybody that I asked wrote just the most amazing letters of support and saying how they don't hesitate to take matters with me, how they find me to be reasonable and solution focused, how they enjoy running files with me, all of this kind of thing. And even beyond what they wrote in letters which were submitted to the Law Society, a lot of them, the vast majority of them, reached out to me personally to offer personal support. And a lot of them have also followed up in subsequent months to see how I'm doing, how the situation is going, and to offer even additional support. So that to me was just amazing. Like, to know that I have the respect of people that I respect, and that people, you know, I've known most of these people for 10 years, and we have slugged it out in court. We have written pointed letters back and forth to each other. We have advocated so strongly for our own clients and literally argued with each other, because that is the nature of our job, but we still have this mutual respect for each other. And to know that I am highly regarded by my colleagues was the best thing that ever could have come out of this. That was so much more meaningful to me than this other particular lawyer being reprimanded by the Law Society. Like, I genuinely don't care what happens with the outcome at this point, because it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to me, and now I know how my colleagues feel about me, and it's incredible. I think the bigger take-home lesson that can be applied to anybody, not just lawyers, but to anybody, is that challenges come up, and it can be soul-crushing, and it can be draining, and it can be exhausting, but somewhere in there is this little nugget of silver lining, and if you search for it, you can find it. And it may take months, it may take longer than that, it may take walking through the fires of hell before you see it. But I truly believe there is a reason for the challenges that we face, if only to show us that we're stronger, if only to provide us with more perspective for future challenges that we face. Because, I mean, for me, in this particular situation, I know I'm going to face challenging counsel in the future. That's just the nature of the beast. But having gone through what I have gone through, now I have the perspective, because it's probably not going to rise to that level. And I'm going to be able to see it coming from further out than I did before, because it blindsided me. Because that's not how our community, like our jurisdiction of lawyers, that's not how we treat each other. And so now I'm a little bit more prepared going forward, and I've gained that experience to carry with me. So for all of that, I'm actually grateful to this person who made my life freaking misery for months. I am grateful for the lessons that that person taught me. In happier news, in February of 2018, my family, so Barry, Aspen, and Bennett, we all traveled to Cuba, and we spent just 5 days there, but that was long enough when we had a 10-month-old with us. And it was just, it was wonderful. I mean, Bennett's not going to remember that, but Aspen certainly does. She had the time of her life, and I've never done a family vacation before. Like, growing up, we just didn't have an opportunity to do that. And making those kind of memories, it's so vital to me, and it's so important to me, and I was so glad that I was able to do that for her. This January, Aspen and I are traveling together to Cuba, and the boys are going to stay home, simply because Bennett's of an age where he's only free on a plane if he sits on our lap, but he's a busy little guy. He doesn't want to sit still that long. Even if he had his own seat, I just think he would be miserable. It's about a 3.5-hour flight, plus all the time in the airports, plus about an hour of shuttle. It's just not fair to him. So Barry volunteered happily to stay home because he will keep Bennett in daycare. So he's going to get his own vacation during the day, and then he gets to hang out with our little boy at night. And so Aspen and I are going to do like FaceTime and things like that every day, so that Bennett can still see us and we can still see him. But she and I are traveling together, and I'm so excited about that. Speaking of travel, this summer, so August, I flew alone with Bennett to Nova Scotia. Aspen and Barry drove there, and we didn't want Bennett to have to sit in the car for like 17, 18 hours, so I flew out when they had already arrived in Nova Scotia to visit Barry's side of the family. And I survived, and I survived well, and I was so proud of that because I was so nervous. He was 14 months, 15, somewhere around there, 15-ish months when I flew alone with him, and I was quite nervous. I thought he might just cry the entire 2 hours, but in fact he actually just slept for the entire 2 hours, so I just got to hold my baby, cuddle with him, and I actually took a nap with him on the flight back, and I was just really proud of that moment because I like slayed the mom thing, and I was really happy about that. Also this summer, our firm, my business partner's name is Allison. Allison and I opened a firm in February 2017, and this past summer we had grown to the point where we were able to hire an associate lawyer to join us. So there's now 3 lawyers and we have 2 staff members, and I'm so excited about that. We're so proud, and we've had people contact us to ask whether or not we're looking to hire more associates. We've actually had somebody contact us to ask us about a partnership opportunity. And to know that we have that reputation as a firm and as individuals and as bosses, that people want to work with us, that is incredible, and it's so rewarding. Also, speaking of work, Barry ended his paternity leave in September of this year and joined us at the firm as my clerk / assistant. That's basically what that means. So because I'm self-employed, I didn't have the benefit of having maternity benefits. And so I did take a couple of months off of work when Bennett was first born. And then, so he was born in April. In August, I would bring him to the office for half a day. While he napped, I would do work, and then I would take him home in the afternoon and then come back and get Barry. And then in September, Barry just took paternity leave. And so he was off for a full year with Bennett. And it's hard on my heart, but at the same time, I'm so proud with what I've accomplished, and I'm so proud of Barry that he is such an amazing father, that he took such good care of our little boy. And he still does. He's an amazing father, and I'm so proud of him. And that he made the leap. So he doesn't have a law background. He worked for a transportation company as their dock supervisor, manager kind of guy. He was sort of the jack of all trades there, and he worked there for as long as I've known him. And he's made this leap, and he's now working in an office setting, working with very nuanced kind of details, and working with people in various states of grief, anger, disbelief, whatever. And he's killing it. He's doing an awesome job. He keeps me organized, which is what I need him to do. Clients really enjoy talking to him because he's just such a calming personality. That's actually a common comment for both of our clerks that we have. Is that people just really, really feel better after talking to them, and that's something I can't teach. That's amazing. And he's doing a great job. He's a very good self-starter. He's picking up all the stuff and learning so quickly, and it's a huge field to learn, but he's doing a great job, and I'm so proud of him. And I love working with him. A lot of people ask us if that's not just a little bit too much, and it's really not. We are the absolute best of friends, and getting to work with him, getting to drive to work with him and drive home with him and then have our meals together and all of I love it. But there is very much a different role when we're at the office, and it's not anything that we ever really discussed. It's just he is the assistant, I am the lawyer, and we know that, but we work so well together that it's just a seamless transition for us. But he is the kind of guy that doesn't get insecure about the fact that I earn more of the household income, or the fact that I am technically his boss. A fact that Aspen loves to tell everybody, by the way, just loves it. And she doesn't put it in context. She just says, "Mommy's the boss," which I just think is hilarious because everybody's like, "Oh yeah?" And I'm like, you darn tootin' I am. But hey, if I can empower the next generation of strong females, whatever, right? But he doesn't get insecure about that. And so I can give him direction, or I can give him correction, and he's not going to get his feelings hurt. I don't do it in a nasty way, but it's working, and it's working really well. And I love our group at the office. Like, we all get along really well, we all have the same kind of sense of humor, and it's just a really good fit across the board. For the kids' parts, Bennett turned a year in April, and he's learned to walk. His language is now exploding, and he is just talking up a storm. Half the time I don't really understand what he's saying, but we're getting there. And he's just an incredible little boy to watch. We've reached this super fun age where he is just so adorable. And I love watching him and Aspen play together, and I love hearing them in the morning because she will go into his room and just hearing them natter back and forth and laugh, and it's all so incredibly cute. Aspen turned 6 in May. She started grade 1 in September of this year. We did our parent-teacher interview a few weeks ago, and her teachers are just blown away by her. She is consistently kind to her classmates. She shows excellent leadership. Her reading is basically at a grade 2, grade 3 level. She's the top female reader in her class, and that's not anything that I've not drilled flashcards into her head or anything like that. She's just an intelligent little girl who loves to learn. And I'm just so proud of her. She won an award for caring. Last year she won an award for empathy, and she's just known amongst the teaching staff for being a good little person. And my heart explodes because she's just so amazing to watch, and her heart is just pure gold. It's amazing. Oh, also with Aspen, she is in ballet and she also does acro. So acro is sort of like rhythmic gymnastics minus like the hoops and ribbons and all that stuff. So she is made of rubber. Like, she is just the most flexible child you will ever encounter. And it blows my mind. Like, it really does. Like, she's a little bit of a contortionist. She idolizes Sophie Dossi, who, if you're not familiar, she was on America's Got Talent. She is a 15-year-old contortionist, and she's incredible. And Aspen just looks up so much to this girl, and I think it's a good role model. Like, I'm proud about that, and I'm happy about that. So in her acro class, she is, I don't want to say that she's miles ahead of everybody, but let's put it this way. When she does her splits, they have to put extra blocks underneath her legs so that she's actually beyond the splits. Like, that's how flexible she is. And the teacher has approached us and said, let's have a talk sometime soon to talk about the competitive program for next year. So there is potentially an invitation there for Aspen to join the competitive team, which of course I'm very proud of. I'm a little nervous about it because I know it's a lot more intense than what she does right now, but I'm very proud of her, and if that's an opportunity that we can give to her, then absolutely we will do that, and we will figure out a way to make it work. Finally, this little channel of mine has grown so much over the year. I've gained about 700 subscribers this year. I know other channels have much more rapid rates of growth, and I'm not concerned about that because this is my channel, and I am very proud with the rate at which I'm growing, and with just having such a wonderful little community of subscribers, because you guys are so kind and so funny and so amazing, and I'm so grateful for you. I was shocked to get a comment on, or a message on Instagram. So somebody sent me a DM with a link to a post on Reddit, which was posting one of my YouTube videos. So the internet is a weird and crazy place. But somebody actually posted one of my YouTube videos to Reddit, and I was on like cloud nine. I was beyond excited about that. That was just the coolest thing. And also one of my makeup looks was reposted by a brand, and that was so exciting as well. So there's been some big exciting things happen. There's been a lot of steady growth, and I'm really looking forward to what 2019 has in store. So that is my yearly recap. Of course, there's been a lot more happen, but those are the highlights for me. And I just wanted to take the time to share. I would love to hear what your highlights were for 2018 as well, so please leave them down below. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and for just being a part of this channel. And I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.